Happy to have my next guest on the show. You know who it is, the magician, John Dodson, will be back in action on February the 17th at BKFC Knuckle Mania 3 when he faces Jarod Grant. John, how are you?
I'm doing amazing, man. I'm just having a good day, trying to keep up the training, keep up the pressure, and making sure I can stay healthy enough so I can go beat up these youngsters.
Well, things are looking good for you, my man. You've had one heck of a career, and you're still out there doing it at a very youthful 38 years of age. Tell me, how has camp been at Jackson Wink? I know you got some of the best training partners around there. So how's it been thus far?
Oh, it's been amazing the fact that I've been training over at Jackson Link and also my other gym at United Fit. The gym that I've been teaching at, making sure I can keep training everybody and pushing the pace and having them get ready for whatever their next ventures. Granted, I have a lot of the flyweights at Jackson Winks, so I keep up with all my extra speed. And if I want to go more of my power people who throw heavy bombs, I stay over at United Fit with them.
Very good. As far as specific training partners for this camp, anyone specific or just a variety of good guys?
I keep a variety of good guys just because of the fact that I need a solid person who's an orthodox fighter who can go ahead and push the pace. Not only do I need a bunch of mixed martial artists, but I keep a bunch of boxers around with me as well, so I can understand the boxing game as like to keep up with it as well. Because Jerry Grant says a traditional boxer, I want to make sure I can push the pace in the boxing realm, and not only in that, so I can go ahead and see if my skills are going to match up differently, like compared to like true boxers to say.
That makes sense. One guy I wanted to ask you about, I've been interviewing Damon Blackshear for a long time now, well before he made it into the UFC. Is he one of your main guys that you get working with from day to day?
Oh man, I like working with the mind. He's like one of my favorite dudes. The first day that we met, though, because I when we started, well, I guess I shouldn't say we met. When first day we actually got to spar, he didn't understand how much I like enjoy fighting, like getting hit, hitting people. He thought I was like being cocky and arrogant because I was just laughing and smiling and literally just having a good time. He's like, man, what the fuck is wrong with you? He's like, oh no, I just like fighting, man. It's just funny to me. He goes, huh? I was like, no, that's just really how I am. He goes, you're not egging me on, trying to like instigate a fight with me. He's like, no, just I think it's just funny. You hit me, got a good angle, you did this. He goes, you're weird. But now he gets understanding of like my personality and he loves like he just loves my energy. He just knows it's like a genuine, true energy, and I'm always excited to see him and his improvements. Man, his jab and like his long punches are coming along so great. Like I'm more afraid for whoever he hits to fight in the UFC next because of the fact that he's just gonna bomb on the dude. And I actually do know who he's fighting next. But anyways, we ain't gonna talk about that.
Very good. And has that ever happened with any other training partners before where they think maybe you're instigating a fight just because of like how happy you are?
Yeah, they don't understand the excitement level and just me being all around joyful. Like I just embrace the life of happiness. Like I'm not really angry, not one to be like talking shit to anybody or sorry, talking crap to anybody or trying to like have my ego flex. I just like to just learn and embrace the sport of fighting. And especially if I see somebody who's better than me, I always try to go ahead and challenge myself by diving deep into like their aspects of the game so I can make sure I can find the ins and out of it to make my game more efficient.
Now, have you always been like that? I mean, I could imagine, like, for myself personally, when I would used to do a little bit of MMA training, I would get kind of nervous going in there. There's a bunch of killers, did that ever happen to you, or have you always just been just kind of like this happy guy, excited to go in there and get punched in the face?
Uh, I've always been an excited guy to go ahead and test my skills. Let's go ahead and say that one because the fact that since at a young age, I always challenge myself. Like, shoot, that's why I was able to dunk at that when I was at that young age of an eighth grader in my freshman year in high school. Like, as until right now, I can still touch the rim, but back then I challenged myself because I said I wasn't going to be able to do it because of my height, and I kept on doing it and things like everyone else told me, like and even wrestling, saying I wasn't gonna be able to be a long enough leg rider, and I start leg riding people day in and day out, teching them, and having people super mad at me. And even playing football, they said I couldn't be a nose guard because I was too little. So then I jumped into being a fullback. So I just kept on taking the challenges that anybody threw at me because I wanted to see how well of a true athlete as I am, and to see if my willpower is gonna be strong enough to go ahead and do it.
Are you a good basketball player?
Uh, be honest with you, uh, I'm okay. Not like the NBA level, not even like street baller level. I'm like, I'm good on the streets, but I don't know if they want to foul me.
Okay, fair enough. Well, I can only imagine just how good of an athlete you are in all the other sports after seeing you compete inside of the cage. I wanted to talk to you too about a couple of other guys. Your brother Eric is going to be fighting on this card as well. Also, Diego Sanchez. How nice has that been just to know that you got a couple people very close to you that are getting ready to fight for this very same card the same night?
Well, it's not just those two that are fighting on the card. I have Jamie Henshaw, Josh Moreno, you already said my brother, but I also have Nick Gonzalez on the card with me, and we're all going to go out there and make a fun night of it. It's just going to be pretty much a house party for us, going out there and doing what we love to do, and that's put on a show for a bunch of people by punching them in the face.
How do you like the skill set as far as MMA versus bare knuckle? Do you feel like your skills are geared more towards one or the other?
No, because the fact that I'm using the same type of skills that got me in the MMA game for bare knuckle, and what's propelling, like excelling me, or nah, what's making me like being so successful in my bare knuckle career right now is my MMA striking. Like I've been doing boxing and everything else for years, and no one actually knew that I've been like training boxing since I was like 16 years old. So I'm a traditional boxer by nature, but I know how to go ahead and throw MMA punches and play looping around and making sure I can protect my knuckles at each and every chance I get.
In BKFC 28, both you and your brother got knockout wins that same night. How special of a night was that for you? And how cool would it be if you guys duplicate that again here on February the 17th?
It'd be amazing for us to go out there and do the exact same thing. We are going to go ahead and sacrifice our hands to go ahead and secure that victory. Not only that, by those knockouts. Like we still have a little bet going on for ourselves. You know what I'm saying? My brother sitting there talking about how you knocked this dude out in 23 seconds, and I knocked him out in 40. So I got to step up my game right now.
All right. And I wanted to ask you too, John, about just your plans for the future. 38 years young. So I mean you still have time left to do, I guess, whatever you want in the sport. What are you hoping to accomplish as a combat sports athlete here moving forward?
What I want to do is, as a combat sports athlete, I want to show everybody that I'm still the most dangerous striker at 125. The flyweight division is going to be the area that I want to go ahead and highlight and tell people that I'm a monster at it. And whether it be bare knuckle, MMA, boxing, whatever, I'm going to go out there and secure the most elite strikers possible and knock them out. So in Rising, I'm gonna knock. I'm gonna hopefully I can jump into a flyweight Grand Prix, and with BKFC, hopefully within this year, I'll have another title shot with them too. I just want two straps by the end of each of my shoulders on this one and this one right here, and to be rocking them and telling everybody I'm the best combat athlete.
What are you walking around at these days? Is the cut down to 25 still pretty easy for you, or has that always been kind of challenging?
It's still challenging because I'm like 151 right now, and I only got like a month left to still cut. So I bounced back up because I ate one too many boxes of pizzas, large boxes. I'm not even going to be ashamed to say that out loud. I love eating pizza. That's like that's my comfort food. Everybody got their own.
Me as well. I always joked around and said I should have been a Ninja Turtle as a kid because I just eat all the pizza. Now, as far as a reunion with the UFC goes, is that out of the question, or is there a chance that the fans could see you back in the UFC?
That's all up to them. Tell you the truth, I just want to go out there, keep on putting on entertaining fights for the fans, and showing everybody that I'm still the unbelievable monster with the incredible speed and knockout ability that I still got. My eyes are things that I'm controlling and making sure that I can go ahead and look forward and not trying to have wishful thinking anymore. I got to keep my eye on the prize, and the prize that I have right now is knocking out Jarod Grant. He's a tough competitor. He was the BKFC champion at 135, and I don't want to sit there and say that he's the interim champion because Johnny Bedford knew he was probably going to retire, vacated the belt for a very long time. He was not defending it for 2 years. So I consider Jarod Grant to be the champion at 135. So I already knocked. So if I knock him out, beat him up, and speed, do it decisively, I actually going to have a flyweight title fight pretty soon.
Are you disappointed that you're not going to get a chance to fight Johnny now? I know a rematch is something he always said he wanted.
He could have won out that rematch all he wants. I don't even care. I would have slept him again. I would have sent him back to Ohio for the second time.
All right. Hey, before we talk about this matchup with Jarod Grant, again, February 17th, BKFC Knuckle Mania 3, I wanted to get a couple of title picks from you. This weekend, UFC 283, who do you see winning the two title fights between Glover Teixeira, Jamal Hill, and obviously Figueiredo Moreno?
Now Jamal Hill has been sleeping a lot of people, and everybody keeps on sleeping on him. But Glover Teixeira is still doing his thing. And if I'm gonna have this be play favorites right now, I'm gonna play on the favorite of the old people. So Glover Teixeira is gonna go out there and grind it for 5 rounds, and Jamal Hill is gonna have a hard time to all the being suffocated for the whole time that he's getting bullied around for 5 rounds. And it's not gonna be the striking that's gonna be the deciding factor. It's how well Jamal Hill can go ahead and defend off the cage. Glover Teixeira can push him to the cage and control that space and continuously bomb on him. And it's kind of like an annoying gnat or mosquitoes just biting all over the place. It don't hurt until like the day after when you keep on scratching it and it inflames up your arm and it looks like you got bit by a giant water buffalo. I love Moreno. I want him to go ahead and win, but we already know he's going to submit him again. I see the Brandon Moreno submitting Figueredo either in the fourth or the third round.
Okay. I can't wait for this card. Are you going to be watching it at home or you going anywhere?
I'm gonna be watching that at home because of the fact that I want to be able to not fight with people about my fight picks at the bar. That's annoying because then I'm like, they're like, you don't know nothing. I was like, listen, man, not all midgets are the ones you want to fight. I
Yeah.
will knock your ankles and then break your kneecaps, and then we'll be the same height.
Yeah, I can't imagine many people wanting to pick a fight with you, especially if you go out in the Albuquerque area. I have to imagine most people know exactly who you are, and that's actually where BKFC Knuckle Mania 3 is going to be. How exciting is that? I mean, is it close to where you live, so you don't have to travel very far?
Well, everything in Albuquerque is like 15 minutes away. But yes, it is very close to where I am. Tingley Coliseum is one of the places that I actually grew up as a kid, going up to the state fair, watching a lot of concerts. But now I got to go ahead and perform again in another state, like another venue in Albuquerque. Like for the UFC came out for the first time was at Tingley Coliseum, and then the second time was over at the Rio Rancho Event Center. Now this is gonna be that second time coming back around again for the BKFC, but doing it backwards because they were at the Rio Rancho Event Center for the first one, and now they're going to be at the much larger and better venue with Tingley Coliseum.
And I have to imagine you're going to have a lot of support in the venue to watch you fight. Do you feel like that's going to bring out the best version of you, or maybe add any extra pressure onto you?
Nah, like I just like going out there having fun. It doesn't give me no extra pressure, but it only gives me an extra willpower and sure ability to go out there and make this a quick night. I'm not trying to stay in there for like a long time. I just want to show up, put on a good show, and then just wild out with my friends afterwards.
So break down Jarod Grant's style for me. How do you see this fight actually playing out?
In my eyes, I see me standing toe to toe with them for the first 10 seconds and then barrage him with a million punches all at once. I'm willing to sacrifice both my hands to go ahead and secure that victory. And I don't care how many times I have to hit him to put him down. I just know that I'm going to continuously hit him. He's going to be trying to stay in that technical boxing range, but most boxers haven't figured out how to control me, find that pace, find that range, and be able to contain me. And I want to see if Jarod Grant can be able to be more than willing to go ahead and find that space. He's gonna try to cuddle on me to tie up and slow me down, but you can't slow down the magic. Let's go. We
Do
already
you
know the motto. Speed kills.
do you think this fight gets out of the first round?
It might because he is a very, like I said, he was a champion. I believe that dude is very crafty. He understands the sport and he knows how dangerous I am. So I don't know if he wants to stand and engage with me, but he's gonna make himself composed and try to survive as long as he can. I'm looking for this to be an early night, and I'm prepared to go for 5 rounds. But at the end of the day, I don't get paid by the minute. I only get paid for the fight. So I can't make any predictions on which round is going to go out.
Stylistically, when you just look at the fighters that are on the BKFC roster, do you feel like there's anyone that could maybe give you any trouble, or do you feel like your skill set is going to be just too much for all the other guys that you could potentially fight?
All the other guys that I could potentially fight at 125, man, I've seen their abilities and I've seen what they can do, and I don't really seem too impressed. Like I'm still the fastest thing alive, and I'm still cracking as hard like a freight train. Demetrius Johnson even sat there and gave me credit, saying that I'm the only dude who hit him the hardest next to Rotem. But Rotem already he has to fall underneath me because of the fact that I dropped DJ and Rotem didn't. So
All right, man. I can't wait to see you back in there again, February 17th. John Dodson makes his return to action against Jarod Grant. I really appreciate you doing this. It's a pleasure interviewing you here for the first time today. Before we do sign off, I want to give you the floor. Please tell people where they can follow you on social media. If you have anyone to thank, any sponsors, the floor is yours.
Hey, yes, you guys can follow me at John Dodson MMA on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Oh, OnlyFans. You guys shout out to OnlyFans. They're always sitting there making sure that they can go ahead and help fighters out. And it's not about, seeing a little bit of my magic stick. No, it's all about introducing yourself, finding out some new tips and tricks about your own skill sets, career advice, and potentially help you guys out, try to figure out how to market yourself to become the next version of me or even a better version of me. So thank you guys. You're a Shaq. Thank you for that. I don't even know who else I'm gonna be thanking besides Nobody's Villain because they're the one who created my walkout tee. You guys haven't picked it up, go to nobody'svillains.com, pick it up that John Dodson 8-bit shirt, and show your love.